This is your daily market review for Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review. Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. Hopefully you are doing well. We are on the eve before FOMC day, and you got retail sales, you got PPI, got a lot going on. Let's talk about what we are expecting. Again, as we talked about, not surprised of the trap potential in the market. As we talked about at the lows and at the highs, you get extreme straight line moves. And straight line meaning, as you can see, day-to-day buildup, crash, or inverse. So again, we'll talk about it, show the evidence, what we're expecting, what we're thinking, and why. So you had the CPI data, came in a little hotter than expected, but all in all, doesn't really matter in my opinion. I think the Feds are going to pause tomorrow. Actually, I know they're going to pause if you go look at the Fed Fund futures, as we'll show you. Really nothing to do other than just wait. And again, we talk about the setup and the traps. When you buy the rumor, sell the news, or you move one direction into big news. I just keep warning people, check out my videos. Talked about this a lot of times, how to trade the Monday and Tuesday before. But also check out the one on bull and bear traps, because I think we're setting up a massive bull trap, in my opinion. Let's see where it's at. No, it's one of them in here. So, but check it out. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the video below if you have a chance to check it out. Pretty simple stuff, in my opinion. We'll talk about the evidence and the why. Again, if you're new to the channel, want to check out the Discord room, link in the description below. Appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. If you're part, want to join the, check out the website, tradingagent.com, get your 5.4%. Use the referral code for Marcus. I think it's the best savings account out there. High yield, especially if you don't mind moving around money and you're not using it as like your checking account. It's perfect. Also, go check out the interactive brokers. Get your discount. Sorry, not your discount. Get your shares. Up to 1,000 shares bonus. Their stock has been acting really good. Also, again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Did a live chat today. I think it was well worth it. Talked a lot about risk, discipline, mindfulness, Randy Howe strategies of psychology. Again, he's one of probably the all-time greatest trading psychologists, coaches out there. He's not cheap to use. He does free content everywhere, but I love listening to him. All right. Again, check out on Twitter, checking out a lot of interesting posts, a lot of announced layoffs. Are you surprised? No. Housing stuff? No. Surprised by anything at this point? No. Market can do things and be irrational just as long as people are around. And the market does things. It does what? All the time. It doesn't go exactly the direction you think it's going to go when it should. Does things that don't make sense. Does a lot of things. And again, because what is the goal of the market? To take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. Here's for tomorrow, 98%. That's essentially a lock. They're not going to deviate. Bitcoin, here we go. Everybody excited. Straight line move. We're going to 100,000. Now I know the news came out from Warren, yada, yada, but that's always what happens. And again, I'm not saying Bitcoin's dead by any means, but near term looks like a little pivot point, right? It goes into a consolidation phase, or it's going to pull back. It's been on a monster run. Well, January 15th, all the institutions and ETFs. Do you think they bought down here, or are they buying up here? Probably not at the highs. Again, they can put things in a custodial trust and hold on to things. Oil, as we talked about, a problem for global growth, showing what? Slowing demand. Natural gas, slowing demand. Simple stuff, y'all. All right, dollar. We talked about it holding 29. Man, I mean, basically got within 2 cents. We said, watch what happens when it gets into this box. Barely gets into the box, chopping around. It is obviously waiting for the FOMC meeting. TLT, chopping around. Again, if this rips and holds the 8-day, then the economy is probably slower than we think. And if it fails, the inflation, again, it's going to be a short-term, near-term at my worst, at worst, I think this is going to be a chop zone. Could flop as well. Could flop again. VIX can't get much lower than this, folks. Got to be kidding. But not surprised, honestly. We ran the market into the close. That's why I'm glad going into tomorrow, basically ready for anything. Don't have a bunch of positions, honestly. Just got some longer term stuff, but again, I'm not even worried about it. VIX in showing you, like, again, another crazy close in the VIX. Why is it not confirming? Why is it green today? I'm telling you, something's cooking. SPY. They closed this thing at the high. I'm not surprised. And so this is what I was talking about, is a blow off at a trend change. Just pretend this is like, again, this is a multiple days of down. Well, here you go, multiple days of up. It's a trap. And this whole candle can be one day, potentially, or it can be multiple days. So here's your retest. Here's your retest, and then you trap. I feel like this is the trap. It's just a multi-day trap. And again, glad I'm watching. Doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Sometimes the market doesn't make sense. QQQ, not losing money by being on the sideline waiting. Here you go. Same thing. Trap, 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 trap. IWM, not confirming. Again, cannot get over this 187 area, stuck under the 618. Maybe it pops and flops tomorrow. DIA, same kind of thing. Holding up pretty dang well. Can't argue with that. Again, if you're long, please look to hedge, take profits. Don't sit here thinking that you can't lose. I'm telling you, pride before the fall. It's my favorite saying now. Gold, as we talked about. Oh, everyone's trap. Now we're holding support. It's hard to believe in gold because silver has actually just gotten absolutely throttled. The miners have not looked that strong. They're kind of telling you someone knows something. So we'll see near term GDXJ, same thing. Someone knows something. Who is it? I don't know. Someone's smart enough to sell AG or set up a trap. Same thing. Not holding up well. Hits a 200-day. AEM looks like it's gonna go. Breaks out over the highs. Bull trap. Newmont, this thing should be at 45 or 50. It's nowhere, guys, gals, friends. Someone knows something. Someone knows something, because if they wanted to mark these things up, they would. PAAS, same thing. Leave them alone. Let's get into tech, because this is where the leadership was in today and setting traps. Taiwan Semi, I mean, do we need to test 102? I don't know. Again, I expect these names to do what they got to do to trap people and play games. Micron gaps up, chopping around. AMD continues to rip, but hit some fibs today on the weekly. We'll see. Another long wick. Or, sorry, another big up day. I mean, this is a big, powerful move very quickly. Is it sustainable? I don't know. NVIDIA trying to wait for the 20-day, being patient. Maybe it needs to go a little above it. Trap, that's fine. Intellectual property, we've talked about 45, 46 area. Failed at it. Chopping up. It looks like a head and shoulders, potentially. Keep an eye on that. SMH, got to give it credit. Close at the highs. Back near the highs. All right. This feels like a bull trap. Adobe's coming back to the highs. Is this a novice gap trap setup? Keep an eye on it. I mean, again, I don't know if anyone saw the 10-minute on Adobe at the close, but it's like somebody wanted to get out. That's a lot of shares and a lot of cash. Think about it. 500,000 shares of Adobe is a lot of money. Apple, same kind of stuff. Chopping around, waiting. Amazon, chopping in this megaphone. Chop, 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 chop. CRM. I'm impressed that it gapped up and held up so far, but I guess the market's holding the 8-day. Keep an eye on that one. Google, head and shoulders top. Holding the 100-day for now, but I mean, again, lagging compared to what it should be doing. Meta, not surprised this one's bouncing a little bit, right? Like we talked about, it's chopping. Maybe it needs a retest. Again, if it tests the highs, look for it. Microsoft, same kind of thing. Again, would not be surprised that tomorrow into Thursday you get some melt up. And again, some names will rise better than others, some won't. Something's not right here. NDAQ, we talked about shorting in the 55, 56. So far, so good. MicroStrategy with Bitcoin all over the place. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. If it breaks 550, could break down. Netflix, we talked about Netflix and spill once it hits the 480s. Yesterday's candle was pretty ugly. Today's is just kind of a nothing burger. Roblox, again, I'd like this if it hits in the teenager levels. Just chopping up against resistance. Tesla, his name is heavily short. It's not going anywhere. Says a lot. Costco, stopped out, and look at it. Just trying to pump here. Again, another crazy candle. Again, I love looking at the 10-minute at the end because that's big money. Look at this thing. Like somebody sold it and then they marked it right back, and once the liquidity had dried up. It's pretty wild. We'll see what happens there. Starbucks, we talked about. This is like global growth liquidity name. It's been actually hammered, but it's chopping around. Not surprised. Chopping around, a little oversold. FedEx, look at these red candles trying to pull higher. We'll see if it continues. Caterpillar, getting into ranges that make sense to short. I would love to see that 100-day. Nucor, we talked about it failing at the 170. That did. Holding the 20-day. VALE, another global growth name, showing you not much of anything. Lower lows, lower highs. Arrow, this is a copper name. We talked about it being pretty oversold. Looks like a lot of volume down here. Could be due to bounce, short squeeze, or it's going to get uglier. CCJ, we talked about this one potentially peaking, but so far holding the 20-day. So give it credit where credit's due. Ag names, no love. Just floundering, flopping, chopping. Again, people got to eat. I love these names at some point, but some point meaning when the Feds pivot. Again, we talk about when the Feds pivot, that's when you see commodities typically go nuts. Alcoa, same thing, another global growth name, just stuck at the lows. Got to give XLF credit. We talked about it getting up into the monthly range highs. It's getting there. It's there. This is, I mean, again, to me, this is a epiphany, or not epiphany, epitome of trash floats last. Banks are holding junk. Be careful. JP Morgan holding up. Morgan Stanley, we'd like this area to short. 200-day, so close. Why not? Bank of America hasn't had much. Stuck under this 31 area. Goldman Sachs really wanted to fill that gap, but I guess you technically got close enough. Keep an eye on it. KRE, you think this thing would be up today? Nope. It's stuck at the 49 level. XBI. There you go. Watching the 0.618. I mean, a lot of interesting setups. And again, what did we talk about? Solar being just absolute trash. Yeah, there you go. Breaking the 20-day. Sedge. Breaking 20-day. We'll see. ENPH. I mean, this is one that's been heavily crushed. Watch the 20. First Solar to me was the easiest one. We talked about this at 160s. So far, so good. Looking good. HYG. Here you go. Check this out, right? What we talk about, is anyone really going to take it over the 76 area? I mean, you got to be stupid to be buying corporate debt here with everything that's going on. Because again, layoffs, all the issues coming. Corporate debt to me seems like if you're whistling past the graveyard, canary in the coal mine kind of thing. We'll see. USO, we talked about oil again earlier. Can't really explain it other than what? Global growth. UNG, we said lay off this piece of junk, please. If you shorted this thing up in the 140s, bought the drip, 150s, and bought the drip at the low 9s, you're looking good. I mean, could it bounce the 200-day, or is it just going to keep going? I don't know. This stuff looks really, really ugly. And again, oil is a proxy for global growth, guys, gals. Exxon buys PXD, not rewarded for it, right? Buying PXD, not rewarded for it. If it breaks, I mean, it's basically breaking here. Just keep an eye on it. Valero, we talked about gasoline names. It feels like at some point they're going to break. Chop, chop. Flop, flop. MPC. Talked about it hitting that 150s area. Broke the trend line. Multi-day range now. Just chopping, consolidating. If it breaks this, 140 area, it could get absolutely crushed. Occidental. After the close, I think they announced yesterday they're buying some company. Again, Buffett sells them. Buffett is just printing money using cover calls. Collecting his premium, knowing the stock is going clearly nowhere anytime soon, and he's loving it. Absolutely loving it. EQT, right? We talked about this one. People are just talking junk, and I'm like, I don't think it's breaking out, y'all. Here it is, below the 200-day, making lower lows. Finally, Flex LNG. Check this out. We like this name. They have a good dividend. I think long-term we will be an exporter of natural gas. Let it come in. I mean, I'd love to see it in the low 20s. That would be an absolute gift. So, again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Use the Calendly links. Always here to help. If you have any real estate questions, I'm telling you, please get involved. Do not do anything without talking to me. If you're watching this channel, you believe in my goals to help people. You believe in my vision to be basically somebody you can rely on for any of this kind of stuff. Because again, if you want to learn about real estate and understand it and buy investment properties, or if you're just looking to buy and sell your house or your first house, there's a lot to know. So don't hesitate to reach out. I have the buyer and seller's guide added into the descriptions. I've got a lot of time to take. I understand not a lot of time. I have time to take if you need to ask questions. Use the Calendly link below. Always here to help. And as always, when in doubt, define your risk. I have my trading notes. I posted them in the live chat. We talked about them for a while. If you're in the Discord room and you want them, just DM me. I haven't fully updated them, but when I do, I'll try to make them public for everyone. I just want to put some stuff on it so that people don't just rip it off. I want to put a little watermark in it. So have a great night. See you tomorrow. Be careful. FOMC, it's going to be wide and loose. Again, if you stuck from this far, you know what to expect. It's going to be up and down, up and down, up and down. Talk to you guys in the hours later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.